What's up, sports fans, and welcome back to Slice of Sports Super Bowl Preview Edition. Before we get into all the great action between Kansas City and Tampa Bay, please like and subscribe to my channel. Share this video, comment below, let me know what you're thinking. All right, we got the big game tomorrow in Tampa. It is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Kansas City Chiefs for Super Bowl 55. It should be a fantastic game. Right now, Kansas City is favored by 3 points, which is a pretty good spread, I think, because this is going to be a close Super Bowl. In case anybody was not aware, Tampa Bay and Kansas City have played before this season. They played in Week 11 with Kansas City getting a 27-24 win. That was based mostly on Tyrique Hill going absolutely bonkers in the first half. He had 203 receiving yards in the first half of football, and they scored 17 points unanswered to start the game, and they wound up winning, holding on 27-24. There were a couple late touchdowns by the Patriots for Tom Brady, but the Buccaneers. And that game was a really close game. It was a really fun game. And I kind of think that this Super Bowl is going to be similar to that. All right, with any Super Bowl, you've got a handful of factors. You've got offense versus defense. Both ways, you've got the coaching and you got the special teams. I'm going to break down some of that stuff for you here in this video. First, we've got the Kansas City offense against the Tampa Bay defense. Now, the Tampa Bay defense in the playoffs has played much better. They shut down the New Orleans Saints, and they have played much better since that first week against the Washington football team. This time around, they're going to be going up against a whole new level of offense. Though Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid have this offense humming. They always have this offense humming. It doesn't matter if they wind up falling behind 10 points, even 17 points early in the game, because they can, as they've shown time and time again, rattle off 17, 24, 31 points before you can bat an eye. The Kansas City offensive line does have a couple of key injuries on both tackles, right tackle and left tackle, so that could open the door for the Tampa Bay defense to get some pressure on Patrick Mahomes. You got JPP on one side and Shaq Barrett on the other side. They could very easily get pressure on Patrick Mahomes. Now, Patrick Mahomes, one of his keys to his success is his elusiveness, either in or out of the pocket, keeping plays alive and doing these funky flip plays that nobody's ever seen before. That's part of his baseball background. In case anybody doesn't remember, Patrick Mahomes was drafted as a baseball player as well as a football player. So you know the guy's an athlete. You know the guy's going to do what he can to create plays. Now, can the Tampa Bay Secondary, led by Sean Murphy-Bunting and Antoine Winfield Jr. as safety, can they shut down Tyrique Hill, Travis Kelce, Mecole Hardman, and Clyde Edwards-Helaire out of the backfield? I don't know. Those guys are absolutely amazing. Again, as I mentioned, Hill went off in the Week 11 game between Kansas City and Tampa, going off for 200 and some odd yards for the whole game, but 203 in the first half. So who knows? Tyreek Hill is one of the most electric players in the National Football League. He is fast. He is shifty. He can beat you both ways with his legs and with his route running. He is an absolutely phenomenal player. And even if you shut him down, even if you do shut him down, guess what? He wasn't even the leading receiver on the team this year. That was Travis Kelce, the tight end. I don't think there's anybody who can match up with that guy in the entire NFL. So even if you wind up shutting down Clyde Edwards-Helaire for the running game, and even if you wind up shutting down Tyreek Hill for the passing game, I don't think you're going to be able to shut down Travis Kelce for the Kansas City Chiefs. So that, to me, the edge of when it's Kansas City's offense against Tampa Bay's defense is definitely the Kansas City offense. Now, the Tampa Bay offense against the Kansas City defense, Tom Brady and Tampa Bay will look to run the ball with Leonard Fournette and Ronald Jones. You know why you run the ball? Because if you're running the ball and you're chewing up clock and you're chewing up time, guess who's not on the field passing the ball all over the place? Patrick Mahomes. That's the best way to beat this Kansas City offense. Kansas City has all the offensive weapons that can score in a heartbeat, but they can't score if they're not on the field. So Leonard Fournette's going to run the ball. Ronald Jones is going to run the ball. And guess who's not going to be the star of the Tampa Bay offense? Tom Brady. Yes, that Tom Brady, 43-year-old, greatest of all time, going to his 7th Super Bowl, trying to win again. He will not be the star of that offense. Amazing, absolutely amazing that Tom Brady won't be that, but he's smart enough to know if he wants to win the Super Bowl, he's got to keep Patrick Mahomes off the field. So again, he's going to feed it to Fournette. He's going to feed it to Ronald Jones. Now, if the Kansas City defense can stop the run, then they're going to force Tampa Tampa Bay to have to throw the ball all over the place. And not for nothing, Tampa Bay still has some pretty good receivers with Mike Evans, Chris Godwin. They even have Gronkowski, who, not for nothing, is not the same football player he was, and Cameron Brate, another tight end for this Tampa Bay offense. Yes, there's a lot to like about the Tampa Bay offense, and not for nothing, they actually average more points. Yes, that's right, more points than the Kansas City offense did for the entire season. That's points per game for the entire season. Tampa Bay had more, not less, more. So it should be interesting to see what Kansas City does. They do have some good defensive backs in Tyrann Mathieu and Bashaud Breeland, who typically keep things on lockdown. That's the main part of their defense because they know that teams are going to be passing the ball. Some of the teams are going to have to try to play catch up and pass the ball on them. So Tyrann Mathieu, Bashaud Breeland, these are the guys who are going to have to stop things. To get pressure, they need Frank Clark and Chris Jones, a defensive tackle, to get pressure on Tom Brady. Now, Tom Brady does not have the mobility that Patrick Mahomes has. So if this game comes down to which team is going to get more pressure on the quarterback. If they wind up getting about the same amount of pressure, Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to be in trouble. That being said, you can never really bet against Tom Brady. He is the greatest of all time for a reason. The guy is phenomenal. I may not like him, but he's phenomenal. His durability is absolutely amazing. When it comes to the next part of our game, special teams, which is basically anything but offense and defense, that's kicking stuff, that's punting, that's field goals, that's returns, things like that. Kansas City has a huge edge. They have Mecole Hardman, who returns the ball, even though he muffed a punt in the AFC Championship game, does not matter. He made up for it later in the game. That Kansas City special teams is much better than the Tampa Bay special teams. I don't expect to see anything special from Tampa Bay special teams. Kansas City special teams is just flat out better. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. There's not really stats to back that up. You just watch a football game, you know the Kansas City special teams is much better than Tampa Bay special teams. When it comes to coaching, I think we're pretty even. Andy Reid going up against Bruce Arians for Tampa Bay's Bruce Arians coach. They're really smart guys. They both have had a lot of success in this league. Obviously, Andy Reid been around as a head coach a little bit longer, having won his first Super Bowl last year. Should be exciting. They're back to the Super Bowl again for consecutive years. So some of Tampa Bay's coaching staff hasn't been there as many times as the Kansas City coaching staff has. And also, one other coaching note, you know, those two Super Bowls that the Patriots lost to the Giants? The defensive coordinator for those Giants teams was Steve Spagnuolo. He was an interim head coach and a head coach for a while, but he's back as the defensive coordinator for the Kansas City Chiefs. So if anybody knows how to stop Tom Brady, it's Steve Spagnuolo. So I think that, I know it's a little thing, but I think that could be a big edge for the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, on to the fun stuff. What everybody loves, the predictions. Like I said, the line for this game is Kansas City by 3. I've got my usual group of experts. My first expert, Mikey G. He thinks Kansas City's going to cover the spread. He didn't give me an exact score because there's too much going on with this guy. He's so busy, he doesn't even have time to give me a score, which is fantastic. He says that the mobility of Patrick Mahomes is going to keep some of these plays alive. Again, even with that injured offensive line, he's going to be able to create plays on the move. He's going to create a lot of fun action going on. He's going to do those side tosses, those baseball tosses. He's going to go over his head, around his back. Doesn't matter. Patrick Mahomes is going to get it done for Kansas City, and he thinks that they're going to cover the spread in a close one. It should be about a 4 or 5 point game. But, you know, he also thinks that the coaching staff being there for 2 years in a row is going to have some good effect. I got my man Louis V going the opposite way. He's got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 27-24. So he was going back and forth all week, was leaning towards Kansas City, but then he said, you know what? Tampa's D, they're going to step up, and Tom Brady is Tom Brady. He's going to win the game, even if he doesn't have an MVP-like performance. He thinks that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to win this one again, close, 27-24. Next, we got Andrew the Trip Tripaldi. He thinks Tampa Bay 24, Kansas City 17. That's right. He's been the only one this whole time who's been on the Tom Brady bandwagon. He thinks no matter what, you don't bet against Tom Brady. And he thinks in this Super Bowl, Tom Brady's going to win his 7th ring. And this will be the one, that'll be the icing on the cake. Because guess what? It's not with Belichick. That's right. It's not with Bill Belichick, whose Patriots are sitting there, you know, playing golf right now, not playing in the playoffs anymore. So he thinks that Tom Brady is unmatched in his longevity and his endurance, and just the way he plays the game is absolutely phenomenal. And I got a nice short prediction from LBS, Larry Bird Seth. He thinks that it's going to be Kansas City 24, Tampa Bay 10. He just says Tom Brady's luck runs out. So those are my friends' predictions. My prediction for this game, I think this is going to be a phenomenal game. I've got Kansas City 31, Tampa Bay 26. It's going to be a really fun, exciting game. I actually see the Tampa Bay Buccaneers jumping out to a nice 10-point lead. People going crazy saying, you know, look at what Tom Brady's going to do. Tom Brady's doing it again. He's going to win. He's going to win. He's going to win. And then Tampa Bay is going to get blitzed absolutely crazy on offense by the Kansas City Chiefs. They are a juggernaut. I have never seen a team create so quickly on offense. I've never seen a quarterback create out of nowhere. I mean, I'm talking Randall Cunninghams. I'm talking your Michael Vicks. I'm talking some of your greatest quarterbacks of all time. They don't create the way that Patrick Mahomes creates. The guy is an absolute beast, and I think it's going to be 31-27, or excuse me, 31-26. And guess who's going to be your MVP? Patrick Mahomes. It's going to be close between him and Travis Kelce. I think Kelce's going to go off in this game. I think Tyrique Hill's going to get shut down. Travis Kelce's going to be a lot of the offense for the Kansas City Chiefs. So that's my prediction. Let me know in the comments what you think of this game, how this game's going to go. I'm excited to break it down with you after it's all done on Super Bowl Sunday. We're going to have a video probably Monday or Tuesday, breaking it all down, talking all this fun stuff. Until next time, see you, sports fans.